Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons. We're going to talk about Critical Role, and we're going to talk about whether or not you should celebrate Halloween, and what holy days does your cleric not celebrate? Okay, all right. So recently, Critical Role started their game, and they were dressed up for Halloween. Right, so they actually dressed up as Marvel characters. And this was a thing. It actually got them in some trouble because the reality is their costumes very actively prohibited them from actually playing well. Like, I think Sam Riegel had like a pool noodle coming off of him to represent some part of his costume. By the way, they all dressed up as X-Men, which, if you don't know this, 3 of my children are named after X-Men. Yeah, 3 out of 4. There's the whole story on the 4th one. All right, so basically, they dressed up, and people were like, "Hey, this isn't super cool because this actually interrupted the game. Like, you couldn't write things on your character sheet, you couldn't take notes, so they got in a little bit of trouble for it, right?" But what I thought was really interesting is, I'm not sure you guys are aware of this, but like there is a high debate in the Christian community on Halloween. Right? So back in the old days, back in my day, if you were an evangelical Christian, you did not celebrate Halloween because it's the devil's day, right? Like it's flat out, just like it's a celebration of death and everything the devil loves, right? Like it's not completely fair to say that people are literally worshiping the devil. They're just literally worshiping, like they're not literally worshiping the devil. They're celebrating everything the devil is trying to make happen on this earth. Right, death, macabre, decay, destruction, like ghostly spirits, all this bad stuff, right? It's a celebration of bad, right? And the reality is, but let me tell you, I am an evangelical Christian. I was raised going out on Halloween, right? But somebody I care about deeply, said, "Hey, I don't think, if we're evangelical Christians, man, we shouldn't be celebrating Halloween." And sat me down and kind of gave me like the deets, and I was like, "Oh, you're right. This is definitely a celebration of everything evil. Like, and no good evangelical Christian should celebrate it." Guess what? A crap ton of evangelicals now celebrate, and it's like, it's the Israelites going into Moab, right? Like, the Moabs are like, "Hey, we're having this great party tonight. Yes, there will be some people sacrificed in a fire, but it's going to be a great party, right?" And that's the issue, like. A lot of Christians are like, "Man, those of them look like a lot of fun parties over there," and it is. I gotta admit, like, I know people have great, fun, super fun Halloween parties, right? So I do not celebrate Halloween, and we have to handle this. It's a big deal in our house. We time it right. 6:30 hits, we are out of the house right on Halloween, and we go out to eat at a restaurant, and we stay there. And then we used to be able to go to Borders when they were open late, right? But now it's like a whole thing. We have to remain out of our house from 6:30 at night to 9:30 p.m. It is a major inconvenience. It is not great, right? And it's a major like inconvenience, right? But we don't celebrate evil, right? So here's what I'm saying. You need to take a look at your cleric who worships Pelor, right? If Pelor is the sun god, when you roll up on that lunar festival, if you're going to play your cleric right, your cleric's going to have to say to the group, "Hey, I'm going into the forest. I'm going to take some time, and I'm going to take some time of solitude. I'm going to worship Pelor from sundown till sunup. I've never done it before. But I can't be here. I can't celebrate with these lunar sorcerers, right? Like, it's wrong, and your celebration of the moon is wrong, right? And they got to get a little snippy about it, right? Like, and go off into the forest, right? So whatever your cleric is, think very carefully when you put them in celebration of something. What events does your cleric not take participation in? And the reason why I'm asking this is, it's time, everybody. Combat is not the only pillar in Dungeons and Dragons. We need to start looking at exploration and social interaction. If you're going to play a real cleric, you need to start thinking about piety. You need to start thinking about worship. And you need to stop making that cleric a heal bot for your player characters only. This is important. This is the deep end of the pool. This is where Dungeons and Dragons is going next. All that's my humble opinion. Do you celebrate Halloween? If you lost, you don't even have to explain why. You're lost. You celebrate evil. I get it, right? But if you are an evangelical Christian, or if you are even any person of faith, why would you possibly celebrate Halloween, right? And also, I got beef with Critical Role for celebrating Halloween. That's not cool, man. I think y'all should just keep it to Christmas. And I think less of Critical Role for this decision. It doesn't take the crown of best dungeon master in the world from Matthew Mercer, but it makes me think a little bit less of him. I'd love to hear your thoughts on all of this. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.